So our three officials observed the positions at the 28-foot mark and the division line for their pre-game activities. But because the players are using the entire court to warm up, our three officials have flexibility in their pre-game positions. And they can use the entire sideline opposite table not only to warm up and observe pre-game activities, but perform their duties. The first thing that our officials are doing are checking the legality of uniforms and equipment. If there is an issue with uniforms or equipment, it's advisable to bring it to the attention of the head coach or assistant coach first. We don't want to interrupt the warm-ups of the players or get in their way. Speaking of warm-ups, we are observing the warm-ups of both teams. Next, we want to ensure that all court markings are visible. We don't want to take for granted the fact that this particular contest is taking place in a newer gym. Even then, we still want to make sure all our lines, markings, and boundaries are visible to players, coaches, and especially officials. For NFHS contests, we want to make sure that the rosters are turned in at the 10-minute mark. Please note the rosters do not have to be entered in the scorebooks at this time, even though it is much easier to check the rosters if they are entered at the scorebook at this time. We just want to make sure that at the scorers table, we have rosters available to us so we can count the number of players on each team. We want to ensure that our clock and scoreboard are functioning properly. And in contests where we're using the shot clock, we want to make sure that the shot clock functions properly and resets to the appropriate numbers. Next, we want to check the legalities of the game balls. First, let's ensure that we have the correct ball. We don't want to be using a boys basketball in the girls contest or girls basketball in the boys contest. So let's make sure that we have the appropriate markings and the appropriate ball, and let's make sure that the ball can bounce to an appropriate height so that we don't have ball handling issues by our players throughout the contest.